Hello, welcome to Level Change channel. My name is Claudio Fonseca. I'm a real-world pilot, and today we are going to talk about the fuel system options that we have for the 737 developed by Pmdg. I'm talking about all the options that we have for this airplane, and that's why I've created this document that you can see right now. You can also download this document through the video description below, and this document gives you access to the Pmdg 737 options video list. Here you will find all the options with the hyperlink to the video that explain that specific option. And today we are going to talk about auxiliary fuel system. So this is the fuel video. So let's go to our sim, and when we are on our cabin, I've selected the BBJ, the Boeing business jet, for this video because this is the type of airplane that allowed us to include auxiliary tanks to the 737. So when you have the BBJ, for example, selected, and then you go to your CDU in menu, Pmdg setup, aircraft, equipment, and then you go to the page number 11. You have the fuel options, and on the fuel options you have auxiliary fuel system, and the standard option is none, as you do not have auxiliary tanks, and this gives you a total fuel capacity of 20,891 kilos of fuel. Okay, when you have this selected as none, you will see here on the corner that the auxiliary fuel for the BBJ, it's inoperative. So they are like considering inoperative is like you have it but it's not operational. So once again, here on the options, you can select, instead of none, you can select avail. The first thing that you will notice is that on that specific corner, now you have your auxiliary fuel panel. Okay, it will also create a panel in the overhead, or it will include some switches in the overhead panel right on top of the electrical. It will include the auxiliary fuel transfer, and for the auxiliary fuel transfer you will have the option as off or auto for the forward tanks and for the aft tanks. Okay, so these are the visual changes. And then when you have the auxiliary fuel system as avail, you can select the tanks, the aft tanks and the forward tanks, how many aft and how many forward tanks you can have. There are some limitations because, of course, this was developed and installed by Boeing, so to keep the airplane within certain within the airplane flight envelope, you have a couple of options. For example, if you have only one aft tank, you cannot have, or you can have only one forward tank. Okay, so the options, if you have only one aft tank, is for forward tanks 0 or 1. If you have two aft tanks, once again you have the options for 0 forward and 1 forward. Okay, only 0 and 1. With 3 forward tanks, you have the option of 0, 1 and 2 forward tanks. Okay, keep in mind that you have usually one less fuel tank in the forward, apart from 1 and 1, that is one option you can select. If you have 4 aft tanks, you can have 0 forward or 1, 2 or even 3 forward tanks, and this is the configuration that will give you the highest amount of fuel, 31,745 kilograms of fuel. Okay, this is the maximum fuel capacity that you will find on this airplane. You also have the option to have 5 aft tanks, But then with 5 aft tanks, you don't have the option to select 3 forward, maximum is 2. So either way, you can have a maximum of 7 auxiliary fuel tanks, being 4 and 3 or 5 and 2. With 5 and 2, you actually lose 3 kilograms of fuel, 31,742. That's why I told you, if you want really to maximize your fuel by 3 kilos, 4 aft tanks and 3 forward tanks, 31,745. Okay, so I'm going to use the second FMC here to navigate to menu, FS actions, and then fuel, and I'm going to select the fuel as full. Okay, as I select fuel as full, you will see that the total fuel capacity 31,745 was supplied to the airplane. Okay, and here on your center display, you will have this indication 31.8. But if you sum the left main tank, the right main tank, and the center tank, you will see that it doesn't match 31.8. So this will still give you the information for the left main, the right main, and the center tank, but the total fuel quantity will also take the information from the extra tanks, and the information for the extra tanks you will find here on both sides, even for the captain, or on the other side there for the first officer. So here you will have the fuel quantity that you have in the forward extra tanks and in the aft extra tanks. So in this case, 4,700 and 6,100 is being included in the total amount of fuel here. Okay, so this is something that I wanted to show you. Once again, if I take this avail to none, then you have the indication that the auxiliary fuel tanks, they are inoperative. Okay, and note that the airplane automatically take out the fuel in these extra tanks. So you have now 20,894 kilos of fuel, and now this and only this makes sense without the extra tanks. If you take 3.91, 13.08, and 3.91, you will have 20,900 kilos of fuel. To be very precise, 20,893 kilos of fuel. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoy this video. You can now select how many extra tanks you want and or you need for your BBJ flight. If you have any doubt, leave in the comments below. Share this video with your friends. You like it, hit the like button, and I see you soon. Bye bye.